So despite that 55 mile an hour zone, we do have another 79 mile an hour zone. If you want to go 80 again, go for it and blast your train to 80. Hello folks, welcome back to Train Sim World, where we are playing Sandpatch Grade X799 Eastbound Helper Return. This one claims it takes about 70 minutes. I think I can believe it for this mission. We're going to start out by pressing Control Plus to switch ourselves to the back engine. And when I go outside in the outside camera, we only have 2 engines to set up. So in this back engine, we're going to set up this engine as trailing 2. As you can see on the screen there, we need to make sure our distributed power is turned off. We need to make sure the radio is turned off. We're going to turn on our number lights, put our headlight control to short hood trail. We're going to come back into the engineer's seat. We're going to make sure that the brakes are released for the independent brake. Automatic is handle off. Down in the computer, we're going to click air brake and we're going to check and make sure that's cut out and trail. We are good there, especially if it says it for both options here. That's kind of critical there. Down here in engine run, we're going to make sure the engine run is off, gen field is off, control fuel pump is off, and dynamic brakes is off. And officially, this engine is set up. So we're going to press Control Plus to go back into our main engine. We do have a helper, this lovely person right here who's looking to get down to the bottom with me, so he's going to come along for the ride. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to turn on his window wipers, because we're going to need to see out of his window here. So, and we're also going to turn on some cab lights for you and just kind of get you a little happier here with some lighting. Second thing we're going to do is turn on the cab lights for the rest of us so we can see what's happening here. We're going to switch off the radio and just kind of do a radio reset. We're going to set my headlight control to short hood lead. We're going to turn on my lumber lights. We're going to turn on the window heaters even though they don't work. The refrigerator even though they don't work. Down here in the heater, we're going to turn on the heater to high cut. It is about 14 degrees. So it is freezing for me. We're going to leave the independent brake on release. We're going to put the handle on full service for temporary moment here. In the air brake screen, we're going to press 1 to go into the air brakes. We're going to set our cut out to cut in and set our lead trail to lead. And most importantly, click F6 to save changes, and we can exit this screen. Going down to the bottom of these 3 here, engine run on, gen field on, control fuel pump on, dynamic brakes on, the gauge lights on, and the heater, because it is freezing, we want to have high heat, so that's going to be very helpful there. And going back into the engineer's seat, we're going to turn on my own window wipers to about, oh gosh, maybe 90 something. Turn on this death light, turn on this death light, turn up this death light, and as for the banking comp, we could turn it on. We don't really need it. Something to keep in mind in this engine, our maximum speed is 70 miles an hour. We need to remember that at some point in this mission. One of my favorite parts about this mission is the fact that when we go forward, we only have 2 engines. We're not beholden to the freight cars at all, so it's going to be actually really wonderful. We're going to put this up on throttle 2. We're going to release our automatic brake, and we're going to go ahead and get our bailed off independent brake going too as well. And we're going to roll this train out from camera 3 because it's just so much easier to see everything from the outside. Turn on our bell. We'll lower our horn twice so we can get moving. And we're going to roll out. So first thing we need to remember, first off, by the way, even though it says we can go 45 here on a 1.2% grade, we're at the top of the Allegheny Mountain, so to speak. This is kind of where we are right now. This is actually the top of the summit, Sandpatch Summit right there. At the other end of the tunnel, there's a 20 mile an hour zone because we are currently on the left track and we need to be all the way over there on the right track. So we're currently sitting on the wrong track. How we ended up here, I don't exactly know, but I believe this is like the engine we left here months ago in that other 4-part mission. So whatever, right? I also forgot I turned on warning devices. What is it? Shift, enter will turn on your warning devices just so that way you can see where you're going. By the way, it's ridiculously hard to see anything this way. Even if I turn on the rear wipers, you can't really see anything anyhow, so there's no point to use it. So it's extremely hard to drive this train from here. If you want full-on realism, do it like this and good luck, right? I was talking on Discord whether this lighting setup is actually correct. So this yellow light refers to me being on the main line, and these two should be saying the diverging switch is closed and the diverging switch is open. But if you saw that bottom one, it did change, which was very interesting that the bottom one actually changed like that. So let me go back there. All 3 are now off, so I'm wondering if it actually modeled this correctly, because I don't think it did. The yellow is on for this one, so that's actually going to be where I'm going to be going pretty soon here, so no worries there. I will tell you, the dynamic brakes, using it for 2 engines is really excessive and does not work as effectively as you might think it would actually do it for you. Don't use the dynamic brakes at all. Just work with the independent brakes. If the independent brakes do fail, you know, activate your dynamic brakes. You'll probably slow down the train a whole lot faster than the emergency brake can. You know, I'm just saying this. Doesn't have to be exactly perfect. We're going to be heading into that big giant sand patch tunnel. I will meet you guys on the other end. Guys, I forgot something. My headlights. I forgot to turn them on. Oh my god, I'm so terrible. Front headlight bright aux, rear headlight dim. I didn't realize, I didn't even notice this until I went into the tunnel. My lights were off. I do this all the time with the car, right? If the sun is slightly up, I don't turn on the headlights. I completely forget until it's dark. Or I do this conversely in parking lots where the bright lights are on. I forget to turn them on until I leave the parking lot. Alright, since we're still in the tunnel, we're about to hit that 40 zone. I'm about to overspeed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the dynamic brakes here, as I've already done. I've done the setup for it, the 10-second count. If you just see, I just set it onto dynamic brake 1, and look at how quickly it slows this train down. It's just insane. It's really convenient if you want to go a quick slowdown. You can definitely use it to do that, and it works great for such a purpose, but I don't really need that. I am going to leave the dynamic brake on setup just for now, and I'm just going to be working off the independent brake, because a lot of this first part of the mission is just going downhill at a breakneck speed here. So we're just going to go ahead and set our independent brake on to, I don't know, like 16%. And what we need to find is a happy balance between like around 10-11% all the way up to 18%. And at some point we just need to find that nice healthy balance that keeps us moving forward, but at the same time also stopping. So up ahead we got a 20-mile-an-hour zone coming up 900 feet, so we really got to slow this train down quite a bit here. I think I could, no, I'm gonna, you know what, I'm just gonna turn on dynamic. Come on, dynamics. No, I didn't even get the dynamics on in time. Whatever. Screw that. I'm just gonna use my independent brake. I will get it. It'll be fine. Everything's okay. Which is coming out of the switch. We are now at a 35 zone. I don't exactly know why they didn't have me switch over on the other switch that switched me over, but whatever they want to do, I don't care, right? I'm currently on about 11% of brakes. I'm just gonna leave that alone and just let myself coast up to 35. One of my favorite parts about this mission is we're going all the way down to Cumberland Yard, which is all the way at the bottom. We're going to, according to our timetable there, we're stopping at Cumberland Classification Yard track number 5. The best part about this mission is we don't actually have to go freight speed, meaning we can go breakneck speed, which is going to be awesome. So that means we're not beholden by the 35 in this mission. We are initially, as we leave Cumberland Summit, or Sand Patch Summit. And our first destination is going to be essentially going up to Manila here in Mance, which is right here at the top of the mountain. So at a 1.9% grade, this is probably the steepest point of the entire mission, give or take. Looking at the map there, I'm like, it's probably Mance, followed by the Glenclo, oh my god, it's Glenclo again. Mance followed by Glencoe, followed by Hyman. I think those are the 3 heaviest points of this mission here. And at 1.9, 1%, 1.7% grade, 2% grade, whatnot, you just have to kind of manage your speed as best you can. Our goal is to get a 4,400 AP. We also know that the stop's going to be at least 500 AP, so we're looking at 3,900 AP. Primarily just driving your train and just being really gentle with your engine and trying not to overspeed as much as you can. We've got a really hard to see whistle stop there. I'm like, that thing is so difficult. That must mean we're coming up into Mance, and the only way I even know this is because I've driven this route over and over again. The snow flurries here are just a disaster. You can't see anything in this mission, honestly, except for the trees next to you and what appears to be a road down there. I can't actually tell what that is. I think that's a road, but this mission's very hard to see. Oh gosh, here it is. It was a road. Okay, I screwed that horn up kind of badly. Forgive me, please, game, forgive me. Folks, we're just coming around the curve heading into Glencoe, so something to keep in mind, that 35 zone is located roughly right around where Glencoe is located. So for you guys wondering about the speed traps and stuff, there's a lot of speed traps here. Most of them good because they get you going faster, but this one happened to be one of the that actually slows you down a little bit. So it's kind of important just to make sure you know roughly how fast your engine travels and how easy it is to work your independent brake to make sure you get the right braking at the right time so you don't accidentally overspeed your train. Oh, did I tell you we passed Glencoe? I know you couldn't see anything. It looks like this. The entire game looks like this going all the way down to the mountain, though there's nothing to worry about. You can't see it. Oh my god, you really can't see anything. You just can't see anything. I could have smashed into that guy had he made the turn to go into the thing. And I blew the horn like terrible. I just did 3 horns going backwards. I made the backwards sign. So we're coming up on the town of Fairhope. So the 30-mile-an-hour zone roughly is about 2 miles long. So it's kind of a little bit of a stretch. It's just a little bit of something that you have to think about and worry about. But not so much. Essentially, it goes from 50 to 35 to 30 to 35, and then I think it goes back up to 50 after that, if I got my calculations right. But realistically, you only have 2 miles of 30-mile-an-hour zone, at least in this entire mission, up until you get to the bottom where you end up getting slowed down just by the fact that you're in Cumberland Yard there. Oh my god, I turned on every wiper. Good job, me. I don't need all the wipers. Look at that. The wiper doesn't even work at 17%. It's like barely cutting it. It's barely cutting it. I don't know why, folks, but you can see more in the scenery in the snowy days than you can during the sunny days. Like, I've never noticed this just random house hanging out on the cliff edge there. How does he even get to this house? Like, that's his garage. I assume that is his garage. How does he drive? There's no road for him. Where did this guy go? Like, how did this house even exist? Hello, we got another friend coming up the mountain. They're using the auto rack. Good job, them. I bet you this is the auto rack mission right there. If I just climbed right in, I bet you that's what it is. So as you can see there, we got a 35 zone. I'm trying to keep my speed roughly under this just to make it there. I guess I might have oversped just a little bit because it's at 1995. But we are now at 2025. So folks, we're trying to aim for 4,400. And so it lied to me. What the heck was it? Oh no, that's right, 35. But the cool thing is we got a 60-mile-an-hour zone, folks. That 60-mile-an-hour zone is literally not even in Heinemann itself. And we're actually, once we get to Fairhope, we're getting a 60-mile-an-hour zone. That's so amazing. And this is what I love about this mission. It actually speeds you up far earlier than you think, and you're not even going 50. I love that. They have 2 engines in the back helping to push that one up there. It definitely needs it. Alrighty, so we're coming up on Heinemann here very shortly. Actually, that's where the 60-mile-an-hour zone is. I just realized that from the map there. Heimann's actually right about there on the other corner. So we're going to be going 60, and my joy is coming very soon where I could just release my independent brake. I'm just going to turn on the bell for this guy just in case he's doing something dumb on the side of the road there. Turn that back off. Actually, I just keep it on because I have a whistle stop. Turn off my independent brake and just let my train roll on ahead, and I could probably even turn off my dynamic brake at this point. I had it mostly as an emergency, so in case I ever needed it, I could just, switch it on if I need to. That's a nice set of wall right there. Good job, house. You got the best wall set up right there of all the houses in this area of Heinemann. Let's blow a horn and get us through this single here. I bet you if I look around, I'm going to find somebody around here not wearing any jacket again. Because there's people that love to be around these areas not wearing any clothing for the right weather. We have a 55-mile-an-hour zone at the other end in Heinemann. And there it is, 79 miles an hour. Isn't that just epic, seeing 79 miles an hour on a railroad track? I could go 79 miles an hour, but I actually forgot about this in my other game, that the max speed for this engine is 70 miles an hour. So we're constrained by the rulebook, folks. I'm sorry, we're constrained by the rulebook. But if you really want to go 70, more power to you. You can go 70 all you want. That's totally fine. As for me, I'm going to go 70. I'm saying this wrong. If you want to go over 70, more power to you. To go 80, go for it. Because you got all the power in the world to go as fast as you would like. So I got a 55-mile-an-hour zone. If you guys did go 80, you would have gotten screwed just up ahead here with a 50-mile-an-hour zone just before you got to Ellerslie. So it's about time we get to slow this train down just a little bit. We're just going to kind of coast, at least for me, because I'm only going 70. I'm just going to kind of coast this train down little by little, and eventually I'll get to 55. No rush here. So I've never thought about doing this and just driving from down here. This is actually kind of a fun way to see the train rolling along. And I would love to know what this hook does for anybody that has any idea. This little chain right there. Really curious what the purpose is behind that. Oh, geez, my alerter. Despite that 55-mile-an-hour zone, we do have another 79-mile-an-hour zone. If you want to go 80 again, go for it and blast your train to 80. But do keep in mind your engine does say there's a max speed of 70 miles an hour. And this wonderful guy here, who is going to look at me when I say I want to go 80 miles an hour, he's going to look at me with an incredulous look on his face. Just look at that look. Just look at that look and when he's thinking of me going 80 miles an hour. That's not happening, right? We're going to stick with the rule book. Actually, that 79 miles an hour tricked you. There's actually a 60 mile an hour zone instead, so it kind of keeps you going at the right speed as you move into the town of Ellerslie. So very important, folks. Did I say 60? Let's say 75. Or maybe we should give it 79. It's crazy how these speed limit jumps are just really random. I don't quite understand it myself, but it's really going to be a 40 mile an hour zone, so don't get too comfortable going too fast here, folks. Alright, folks, so coming into Cumberland, which is right about where this little switchback is out here. Coming into Cumberland, we got a 25 zone coming up and a yellow light, so that obviously tells us we're slowing down to the main yard itself. We got about 3.9 miles before we stop at Cumberland Classification Yard, track number 5. And that is a long drag just to get there, but it's what it is to get through this. But the road down the mountain was just fantastic. I loved it because I didn't have to go very fast. I didn't have to do a whole lot. I just, kind of coached my way through. And the cool part is it's only 10:38. We started this mission at 9:45 according to our timetable there. So it took us a little under an hour to get down here. So that was really nice. So if you guys didn't know this whole long, short, long was actually designed by England. Thank you, England, for doing this. And it's the whole idea of making way for the Queen. So it's Morse code for making way for the Queen, so to speak. And that's what you're doing when you blow the horn every time you blow the horn. You're actually telling people, get off the railroad track because the Queen's coming. Now, of course, we don't have Queens here in the United States, but we do keep some of the UK's practices. Only thing we don't keep is driving on the left side of the road unless you're not doing so well that day. A person, let's go see him. I have to see. Is he wearing a jacket? This guy is wearing a hoodie. Good job. He looks like some tough dude. Look at him. He looks so tough like that. My God, walking around 14-degree weather in that hoodie. My goodness. What's up with... What the heck? Why'd you stop? Why'd you stop? I've never seen this guy stop. You held up traffic. What the heck, dude? What the heck? That was just unusual. I've never seen that happen before. What if I put the camera here? Will you stop for the camera? You will! Is it because of me? Holy crap! You could stop a car with the camera! That's flipping cool! I did not know that! That's flipping cool! Oh, the camera doesn't even go through the person! The camera's like a real object! But yet I can go through the building? Oh, I can't go... I can go through part of the building. That's really cool. Let's get back to my train. I'm stopping my train. I didn't mean to stop my train. I was not paying attention to anything right now, folks. I'm so sorry. I got so distracted. I didn't realize this camera 8, you can actually do that. Alright, folks. So we've got about 6,000 feet to our stop. We shouldn't have to change any of the switches because the switches should already be set for us to go to classification yard number 5. That's all the way at the other end here. You can see our blue line going to take us right into it. Why we're stopping there, I don't know, but that's just where they wanted us to stop. This train is probably going to be our next manifest for all I know because it looks ready to go and is just waiting for someone to drive it. So we'll see what happens with it when we get to our next mission there. Of course, as usual, please do like and subscribe, folks, and leave me comments as usual because I love to hear from you guys. It's so much fun when, you guys are having as much fun as I do. I love sharing the experience of Train Sim World with you. Driving trains has always been a passion of mine, despite the shirt saying Nintendo on it, right? I've always loved model railroads, and at some point I should tell you about the one I had when I was a kid. It was really nice. I actually have more than one. Long story on that piece of it. Tell you one day eventually. So that's why, it'd be good to have chats and whatnot. Of course, I've got Discord. If you want to join up with the Discord and have a chat in there too, you're more than welcome to. Of course, be respectful and treat everybody nice and all that other good stuff. But yeah, so I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear things that I didn't, pick up, I didn't point out and whatnot. So what can I say? It's just a fun thing to do. And what I found out is when I was just doing this on my own profile, I was like, this is, especially driving freight, it's not as fun when you're just one person driving a freight train. It's a little bit more fun when you're kind of sharing the experience with other people. So I do feel for the freight drivers. However, there is a plus if you just want to be alone. Driving a freight engine around is kind of the best way to do it. Being alone that way, you get the opportunity to just kind of get away from it all for the day. It's kind of a trip here at 8% braking here. I'm slowing my train down little by little. 900 feet to go, and we're going to be stopping at Cumberland Classification Yard Track number 5. Like I said earlier, definitely like and subscribe. Definitely leave me comments. Would love to hear from you guys. This is such a fun mission. I love this mission because of just how fast it goes. It's only 70 minutes. You can see by the clock there, it really did take about just a touch over 70 minutes. So it's not too bad. Oh God, my lord. Don't need to slam the emergency brake right at the end of the mission. That would be dumb. But yeah, so we're going to see my final score in just a second once I park this train officially for good. And I've only got a couple missions left here of journey mode. And after that journey mode is complete, whether I will eventually do the timetable mode, I don't know. There's other trains I want to try to drive, especially the one from England. I want to give the UK trains a spin with the Great Western Express. That's kind of my goal with this. I've got a few other trains I've been picking up as things have been going on sale. So definitely, you know, hit me up with what you might want to see. And I might be able to play for you guys depending on what you guys are thinking in terms of trains you might want to see. Especially the older routes. I've got quite a few of those ones. And we're about to stop it. Let's stop our train right there. Perfect. We got it. Thank you for riding this express train. We did it. There's that spot where I got stuck with the car. Good job, me. But yeah, we got a gold medal 4790. Perfect. Good score right there. And that is it for this mission. We shall see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Nowadays operating in this local area, and I don't mean local. If you look at the map again from way back in the beginning where I showed you the Google Maps, you can see it's about 2 hours away from where we are. Actually, probably 3 hours from where we are originally, because we're not even in Hyman yet. So it's a thing that you can do. So not only can you ride CSX and drive it in Train Sim World here, you can actually go out to Cumberland and take a trip out to the Virginia Scenic Railway and do a railroad trip. You know, it'd be kind of fun to do that.